name is Keita, Psychopath Exposure. I want to read this interesting comment from Davey. It's a great comment because it's something I experienced. So in reference to a recent video, Davey went on to explain that narcissists love challenges and turning no's into yeses. Once you agree, the fun's over. It's like fishing. The fun is in the struggle, the pulling in, getting away, fighting to reel it in, etc. Once you're reeled in, again, fun's over. Okay, I got him. That was fun. Now what? Shrug. Then tosses it back into the water or flat out throws the fish on the ground and leaves it there. They don't care. It's the drama, the chaos, the toxicity. That's interesting to them. Peaceful things are boring to them. They love that MTV drama, Real Housewives crap. I like to say Jerry Springer crap. They want to live that drama out in real life. Turmoil and making them wonder about you keeps them engaged. Otherwise, they wander off to toxic drama. It's like a magnet for them. Thanks, Davey, for sending that in, and thanks for participating in all the live chats. Guys, usually when I post a video, I'm on the live chat while it's airing for the first time during a premiere. So if you like an opportunity to chit-chat back and forth or chit-chat with one another in real time, click on the little bell icon so that you can get notified every time I drop a new video, and it'll let you know what time it's gonna air so that you can jump on the live chat and share your stories and help one another. So thanks again, Davey. I appreciate that. What can I say? I was in a situation just like that too. Just like that too. They do that. They love chasing. I remember my psychopath ex telling me something like that. It's funny, she twisted the story, but then I discovered the truth. But she was talking to me about a guitarist in some band that I guess she found on Facebook. And she told me, she was like, I made it my priority, was my goal. On top of my goal is I was going to infiltrate that circle. I was going to get to know that guy. I was going to get to know that guitarist, no matter what it was. And yeah, she ended up befriending the singer of the band, who was his girlfriend at the time. And she got in there. She got in there and she poisoned that entire band. That whole band broke up because she triangulated the singer and the guitarist, and then got me involved, and obviously cheated on me with him and with his best friend. It was a disaster. But I remember everything, and I remember her telling me how she just had this fixation to get to know this guy. This was a girl that was a cosplayer. She wasn't like into rock shows or anything like that, but they're chameleons, guys. They are chameleons. And she did whatever she needed to do to infiltrate that circle. And once she got it, she just destroyed it. Moved on to the next fish. That's what they do. You can't get involved with people like this and think that you're going to have something healthy long term. If you happen to get caught in the toxicity because you're addicted to it and all you know is toxic relationships and you're addicted to that toxic energy, believe me, I know that too well. All right? You got to just go in for the ride and just keep driving. Do not stay at a motel. You got to go in and out, right? In and out. And I don't even advise that, but if you got to do it, like, do not invest in any of that. Do not make any type of investments. That is not going to work. Anything that starts off toxic like that from the beginning is going to end toxic. Any relationship that starts with infidelity, if they cheated on their husband or their wives with you, they will cheat on you later on at the end of that cycle. Guaranteed. Don't do it to yourself. I know it's tempting. I know you feel like you're in the power seat when you're in those situations. But you got to think logically, not emotionally. You have to think logically and tell yourself, hey, wait a second. So this person was married, but they had an affair. And now that they've experienced what having an affair is and how to sneak around and go behind his back, why would they suddenly treat me any different when they know how to get more. If they learned how to go behind that person's back, that means they already have that skill as part of their tool set. They have that skill now. And when it's time to use it on you, they will, guys, they will. All you got to do is piss them off one time, a narcissistic injury that just hits them real good, like it hits them right at the core, because they know what they are, right? They know they have a disorder. And once that hurts, once you do something that shatters that facade, it's time to punish you. And the punishment shall be severe. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And they're gonna hit you. And you know what? We can even blame karma for this. We can even blame karma. Because if you were a homewrecker, life has a way of getting back at you, right? How they always say, you end up getting hit with the same stone that you once threw. It sucks, but you got to be willing to accept that there's blood that needs to be spilled when you've messed up. But once that blood has been spilled, there's no need to continue donating blood. So how does that relate to a narcissistic marriage or a long-term relationship with a toxic, disordered predator like this? And it's like, if you feel that this is happening because you deserve it, because maybe you did some things at the beginning of that relationship that now haunts you, maybe you weren't ready for something at first, maybe you were hyper vigilant, maybe you didn't trust people yet after being discarded at one point in your life, and you were playing it safe, and you had walls around you, and you had extreme boundaries, and you were just very cutthroat. And then later, when you finally started becoming more vulnerable, now this person has an RAS flip. The reticular activation system fucking flips. The love bombing stops. Now they devalue you. No more idealization. Now it's devaluation. And now you sit there and you're like, you don't understand what's going on. So naturally you're like, oh, it's my fault, because they make you believe that it's your fault. They gaslight you enough. You gaslight yourself enough where you believe this is your fault. And to a certain extent, I will agree that blood needs to be spilled for the bad things you might have done. But it's like I always say, the pain is real. The pain is inevitable, but the suffering is optional. The suffering is optional. What does that mean exactly? That means that once your narcissistic, abusive, manipulating predator has become an infidel, has cheated on you, has broken their vows, has constantly lied to you, gaslighted you, manipulated you, even triangulated you with another woman or another man, messed with your mind so much that you don't even know what's real anymore, has caused all this anxiety, all this panic, all these panic attacks that you get. They're neglecting intimacy. They're withholding sex from you. And yet you stay in the relationship because for some reason you have convinced yourself that you might be the narcissist. That maybe there's something wrong with you. And yeah, to a certain degree there probably is. That's why you're attracted to a monster like this in the first place. But let me tell you, that type of abusive behavior that these predators put you through is unacceptable. Nobody, no matter what, should voluntarily put up with any type of the psychological abuse. And I say voluntary because at the end of the day, you know what's up. You know what's up. You know that you can go. You're just afraid to, because they have made you afraid. And I know that there are some extreme cases where things get really extremely dangerous. But there are calculated ways to plan your exit strategy. And a lot of times, things aren't as bad in real life as they seem in our minds. The narcissist has a way of making you believe that you are powerless. The narcissist has a way of making themselves seem larger than life. And they keep you in a mental prison long enough to open the door, and you're afraid to just walk out of the prison. And they love that. That makes them feel powerful. They know you'll never leave. So they test your boundaries. And the more abuse you accept, the more they will try to test that benchmark. That's exciting to them. You know what's not exciting to them? When they realize that they have no control over you anymore. When they realize that anything that they do, their threats, their acts of betrayal, don't mean squat to you anymore. When they realize they can't hurt you anymore. When they realize that you've checked out and that you believe in yourself and that you love yourself, that's when it stops being fun. It's like the bully in school. He bullies people, takes their lunch money, stuffs them in the locker, right? But that kid that fights back, that's not fun. Because a lot of these bullies are cowards. A lot of these bullies are cowards. They've got their own trauma and they're taking it out on someone that they consider weaker, someone that's emotionally weaker. That's why they're predators. But when they get punched in the mouth by someone they thought was weak and naive, it shocks their system. That's why I always say, did you guys ever watch Back to the Future? Remember Biff? He got punched in the mouth. He got punched in the mouth by George McFly. And you saw what happened to him after that. From that moment on, he respected George, and he was like his personal little servant after that, wasn't he? Yeah. It's funny how that turned out, right? The victims stood up for themselves. And they faced the bully like a David and Goliath. Ever read that story? Believe me, this is not an easy situation to get out of. And the rumination, that lasts for a long time. But I would rather be ruminating on the toxic ex while I'm traveling, while I'm having fun with friends, while I'm dating someone new, while I'm working on my goals, while I'm doing the things that I love again and have a genuine smile in my face, than being back in that never-ending nightmare with a person that you don't trust, that you can't depend on anymore, that you don't believe a word they say anymore. Someone that you're afraid to look at their body, afraid to find bruises in certain places because you know they're cheating on you. No. I'd much rather deal with the ruminating thoughts that linger after a while because of the PTSD, but witnessing myself rising. You know what I'm saying? Rising that frequency, elevating yourself, going after the things that you love that the narcissist stopped you from doing. Because, oh yeah, they have a way of making you quit on your goals and your dreams and yourself. But when you get that back, you realize, God damn, I wish I would have done this years ago. And yet you got to deal with the occasional PTSD intrusive thoughts that come here and there, but we can work through that. I have an online coaching program where I work with survivors of narcissistic abuse every single day, and we work on techniques and action steps and strategies to help rise out of this perpetual nightmare, because what it is a perpetual nightmare that we just never wake up from, right? And even when they're gone, we're so addicted to them and we're so conditioned to thinking and overthinking and ruminating and just replaying the tape over and over and over again, trying to make sense of it out of the situation. But let me tell you, that gets easier when you start reframing your experiences and you start creating opportunity and you start taking advantage of the lifelines that God throws at you. And you start saying yes to things that you used to say no to. And you start saying no to things that are unacceptable and things that cross your boundaries. As a matter of fact, we work together to build new boundaries. And it's a program of accountability. If you're not willing to do the work, you're not going to get better. But if you're ready to end this nightmare, if you're ready to start a new life, I don't care how old you are, tomorrow could be the best day of your entire life. And things will only get worse if you don't make any changes, because these narcissistic predators never change. Their pattern is to continue dragging you down that dark, downward spiral. So if you're ready, you reach out to me at info@psychopathexposure.com and we'll talk about setting up some private coaching sessions. And we'll get through this. Believe me, we will get through this together. You're not alone. We have a growing community of survivors. Just read the comments. I get inspired sometimes just reading the comments and seeing so many people that were here like a year ago, and now they're telling me, hey, Keita, remember me? I did everything you told me. Now my life is incredible. Oh my God. But you know what? They stick around because they remember. They remember how it felt a year ago. And they know there's people out there like you that desperately need this validation. Because it feels like you're going crazy, doesn't it? I know. I was talking to my shampoo bottles every day. They were having a blast. They were like, look at this crazy guy. He won't stop talking about his ex. Oh yeah. Those are my crazy showers. Not anymore. Not anymore. But I went through that. It felt like an eternity ago. Yeah. And then I went through some other toxic shit. Oh yeah. You will. You will date more people. You will meet more people that have personality disorders after this. It's kind of like the universe testing you to see how much you've learned. And you'll get caught. You'll get caught up in it temporarily. You'll see through it. You'll try something else. It'll never be as bad as the first time. Ever. You guys think that maybe this is going to happen again and you're going to go through another 10 years of misery? It's not going to happen. The brain needs proof, not promise. That's the thing. Until you experience it, until someone crosses you again and you see exactly what they are and you're able to just call them out and terminate it and not put up with it and just call out the gaslighting and call out the manipulation, until you actually do that, and believe me, the universe will send people to test you. Then you'll be like, oh, that's right. I survived this. I know exactly what you are. Get the hell out of my face. I'm done. Block. That's what happens. Once you pass those tests, you're on the up and up and up. And there will be more challenges because everything comes with challenges, right? Nothing good is free. Everything great in life has to be earned somehow, right? You need to have some sort of boss to defeat. Just like in any video game, there needs to be a boss. There needs to be a challenge, some fear that you got to overcome. That's the beauty about all this. This is the worst situation that ever happened to us, but it's also the best. Because when you conquer this fear and you conquer and you push through the anxiety, right? And you come out of it at the other side, the things that you can do with your life, you won't even believe. So do not hesitate to reach out. My name is Keita. This is Psychopath Exposure. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you got some value out of this video. If you liked it, please drop a comment, share your experiences with us, drop a like on the video as well. And remember, click on the bell icon so that you can get in on the premieres. You can get on the live chat, participate with everybody, and not miss a video. Have a great rest of your evening. Stay strong, stay on the rise. Peace.